Hello, yoga friends. Thanks so much for joining me today. I've come to the mat to move with you through a little flow where we are going to focus on spinal flexion. So that's the rounding, sort of cat back of the spine. Often in our practice, we do a lot of step throughs, which uses that movement, and it can be quite a difficult transition. So, in our practice today, I'll give you a couple little tips and tricks of ways we can go about that. And going along with that, two blocks will be handy to provide that little boost. But if you don't have blocks around, this whole sequence can be done without. Let's begin on our backs in constructive rest pose. Bringing a bend into the knees, feet about as wide as the mat, then let them come in and support each other. Let's begin just observing the mind. Notice where it's wandering, perhaps see if you can bring the attention back right here and right now. Let's observe the breath, the quality of the breath and the pace of it. And how it might be making you feel. Let's open up our eyes, take in the room that we're in. And now we'll wiggle our feet to about hip distance and bring your hands down beside you. Let's float the feet off the ground, bring the knees directly over the hips, and then squeeze the knees together. We're going to press the hands onto the tops of the knees and then resist that with the legs. Let's breathe here nice and deeply. Spread your low back wide onto the ground. One more deep breath. And bring the feet back to the ground about hip distance and hands down by your side. Now for a big breath in, let's roll the spine up bone by bone into a glute bridge. So one long line from the knee down to the collarbone. Stay lifted, squeezing the glutes, squeezing your thighs, activating your core. And gently roll all the way back down as soon as the tailbone lands. Hover the feet again, squeeze the knees together, bring the hands onto the tops of those knees and find that pressure again. Now you're in control here of how much you would like to press onto the knees, how much you would like to relax. So you decide. We're really just challenging the core to wake up, all those muscles in the torso wrapping around, giving you a big hug. Now, just like last time, bring the feet under the knees, hands down by your side. Roll the spine up bone by bone into your bridge. Keep the glutes and legs active. 3 more breaths. Lowering the hips back down. One last time. Hover the legs, squeeze the shins and knees together. Press as much as you would like to onto those knees. Take 3 deep breaths. So we're waking up the front of our body, waking up the back of our body. It'll help us as we begin to move. Bringing the feet back down, hands down by your side. Roll the spine up to your bridge, holding for 3 more breaths. Lowering down on that final exhale. And let's cross your right ankle on top of your left knee. Not only that, give yourself a hug, right arm on top of left. And now we're going to hover those feet off the ground, and you can just keep that across the knees or try to twist tie one more time with the ankles. Do the same by bringing the backs of the hands together or perhaps come into full eagle bind. Now, as you breathe in, reach the toes away, reach the fingers away. And as you exhale, pull the knees and elbows together and then round the upper spine off the mat. Inhale, lower the upper back, reach the arms and legs away, and exhale, round. Do this 3 more times. Yet again, you're in control here. So you decide how far you want to lift and round, how far you want to reach the legs away. Perhaps you want to keep the movements nice and small today. When you're all done, let everything just relax, untie the arms and legs, and let's drop the knees from side to side. Lift your knees back through center, cross your left knee on top of your right. Give yourself a hug, left arm on top. Hover the legs off the ground, decide how many times you'd like to squeeze those legs and bind them together, and then do the same with the arms. Now, if you're flowing with me, inhale to reach the toes and fingers away. Exhale to pull the elbows and knees as we round the spine up. So 5 in total. Work with your breath. Decide what type of movement is feeling good right now for you. After your 5th one there, let everything go again. Feet find the ground and knees just travel left and right. Pull both thighs into your chest, arms can wrap around, and let's rock and roll our way up to tabletop. As you take a big breath in, let the belly stretch out as it drops, looking forwards into cow pose. And as you exhale, round the spine, tuck the tail under into cat. This is our focus of our movement today. Inhale, come back forward, stretch out the belly, look way ahead, cow. And exhale, rounding the spine into cat. One more, inhale. And exhale, let's hold this cat pose. Press the mat away, spread the shoulder blades apart. Just make the whole back body be like a rainbow. One more breath. Traveling back to tabletop in a neutral spine. Take a big breath in, reach the right leg back behind you. Then exhale, pull the knee towards your nose and round your spine. We'll keep going about 3 more times. And every time the knee comes towards you, try to press the mat away even more. We're trying to lift the shin away from the ground. When you're all done those, we'll inhale again, get long with the leg, and instead of pulling it towards your nose, let's pull the knee towards your right elbow wide, and then step wide of your right hand into a low lunge. Walk your hands towards your back knee so we can lift all the way upright. Take your palms together, clasp the fingers, and we're going to flip the palms, press the arms away. Now, let's invite the back body to also dome. So let the pelvis tuck under, dome through the belly, spread the shoulder blades apart. Let's lift the spine long as we stretch the arms overhead. Keep them just as they are. Reach the arms up as much as they can go. Find a hint of a back bend as you look up towards the sky, opening up the heart space. Bring both hands to the ground inside of your right foot. So the left or the right knee can slide back to where it started, and we'll lower the whole chest to the ground. Keep your hands lightly by your side as the shoulders squeeze together. Inhale, small cobra. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, small cobra. Exhale, lower. One more. And then we'll press our way back, hips to heels in child's pose. Rise back up to our tabletop, and we'll do 3 more sets of those cat and cow. So inhale, let the belly stretch out as you look forwards, tailbone tips up. And exhale, round the spine, press the mat away. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale, cow pose. And exhale to cat. We'll hold this one. Really press the mat away, round through the whole spine. Lengthen the spine back out through neutral. Take a big breath in as you reach the left leg back behind. Then exhale, pull the knee towards you, rounding your spine again. So 3 more just like that as we pull towards the center. And this last one, inhale to lengthen out. And then we're pulling wide towards the left elbow and planting wide of the hand. Now that's a good trick for any step through. Walk your hands towards your back knee, lift on up. If stepping through to center doesn't seem quite right, it's a little bit more challenge, you can always step wide of your hand. All right, just like last time, take the fingers together, press them away from you, dome through the belly, round the spine for 3 breaths. Lifting the arms to the sky. Get nice and bright through the collarbone. Look on up with a gentle lean back. Bring both palms to the ground. Unlace the hands to the inside of your front foot. And we'll slide that left knee back beside the right. Come all the way forwards to the belly. Hands light by your sides. Inhale, lift up for a small cobra. Exhale, lower down. Do 2 more of those, following your breath. Press your way back towards child's pose, but we'll tuck the toes on the way. And then start straightening your legs out, downward facing dog. Give yourself a minute here. Pedal through the legs. Open up the calves and ankles. And slowly we'll let this pedal come all the way forwards towards our hands and find yourself in a nice juicy forward fold. As you inhale, bring your hands to shins, lengthen out the spine. Exhale, float back down. And inhale, come all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands down beside you. All right, if you're using blocks with me today, place both blocks on their lowest height, right around where your hands would be in a downward facing dog. Those will give you a little bit of a boost for our step throughs. Step your feet behind those blocks about hip distance. We're going to take a big breath in, stretch the arms to the sky, and exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bring the hands to the blocks, and we're going to step back, downward facing dog. So those blocks are elevating the hands, just giving us a little bit of a boost here. Take a big breath in, reach the right leg back behind you. And as you exhale, we're going to pull it forwards to the right elbow as shoulders travel over wrists. Inhale, lengthen the leg back. And as you exhale, pull it towards the left elbow, crossing the body. Inhale, reach it up through center, your choice. Either step it wide of the right hand or right between both hands. When you feel steady, we're going to rise all the way up, high lunge. Take the hands just as we had before, threading the fingers together, flipping the palms, and pressing the arms away. Let's add in the dome of the belly, round through the shoulders, and you might be looking down towards your front foot. Lifting the arms up, lengthening through the spine. Add in that back bend just as we had before. And we'll bring both hands to the ground or your blocks. Step your right foot back, downward facing dog. Heading to the other side. Inhale, lift the left leg high. Exhale, pull the knee towards your left elbow. Inhale, rise back up through center. Exhale, cross the body, tap the right elbow. Inhale to stretch back. Exhale, pull the knee towards your nose, either stepping wide or between your hands. Pressed through both feet, come all the way up, high lunge. Let the hands find each other, flip the palms, and press the wall away. Dome through the back, dome through the belly. 3 deep breaths. Let's find length through the whole body. Reach the hands to the sky, arms by the ears as you lift up and lean back. 3 deep breaths here. Hands can come apart. Let's bring them all the way to the mat this time. So just slide the blocks away and step your left foot back, downward facing dog. Adding in a vinyasa. Inhale, come forward, shoulders over wrists. And exhale, you decide, lower to the belly or chaturanga. Inhale for one small cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Let the heels rise up, look way forwards, travel to meet the hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, float back down. And inhale, scoop the arms all the way to the sky. Exhale, mountain pose. All right, preparing for our next set. If you liked using those blocks, let's just bring them back underneath where the palms would be. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms and step back to downward facing dog. Inhale, reach the right leg back behind. Exhale, pull it towards the right elbow. Inhale, lift on up through center. And exhale, crossing over, tapping the left elbow. Inhale, rise back up. Exhale, stepping wide or between both hands. Let's lengthen the body out, reach the arms to the sky, high lunge. As you breathe in, reach the arms away. As you breathe out, give yourself a hug, right arm on top of left. Now you could stay here holding on to opposite shoulders or twist tie the hands together, finding eagle arms. All right, I'm going to lead with a few flows up and down. If you are feeling a little unbalanced, perhaps hold each sort of shape for a couple breaths instead. So if you're flowing with me, inhale to lean back. If you're not flowing, just hold this lean back for 2 breaths. Then I'm going to exhale and pull my elbows down to my navel. Inhale, reach back to the sky if you're moving with me. And exhale, pull the elbows down. Now, if you're not flowing, start pulling those elbows down to the navel. Hold there. Otherwise, flow 2 more rounds up and down. All together, we'll just lengthen out the spine, look straight ahead, let the arms reach apart, and clasp them behind the back, right thumb on top of left. Draw the fingertips down the back body, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and let's lift the spine up, looking to the sky. If you'd like to add a little bit more of a shoulder stretch, reach the hands away from the body. Lengthen the spine back out so you look forwards, hands separate and find those blocks. Step your right foot back, downward facing dog. Inhale, reach the left leg back behind you. Exhale, pull it to the left elbow. Inhale, reach up and back. Exhale, crossing the body, tap the right elbow. Inhale, lift through center. Exhale, stepping wide or between the hands. When you're ready, press up to stand, high lunge. Take a big breath in, arms separate. As you breathe out, give yourself a hug, left arm on top of right. Stay right here or find your eagle bind. Now this time I will not flow, but I will call it. So if you're going to stay static, inhale, lean back, stay here 2 breaths. If you're flowing, exhale, draw the elbows down to the navel. Inhale, lift the arms to the sky. And exhale, draw the elbows down. Now if you're not flowing, now we're going to pull the elbows down to the navel. Everyone else flowing, inhale, reach the fingertips to the sky. And exhale, round into yourself. One more, inhale, reach the fingertips to the sky. And exhale, round forwards. All together, inhale, look straight ahead. Unwind those arms, stretch them out. And find a bind between your back, left thumb on top. Stretch the arms away from each other, squeeze between the shoulder blades. Begin to lean back and optionally reach the hands away from the body. Begin to look straight ahead. Hands can separate. Slide the blocks off the mat so both palms find the ground. And left foot steps back, downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward, shoulders over wrists. Exhale, lower. Inhale for a back bend of your choice. And exhale, downward facing dog. Let's let the heels get light. Look way ahead. We're going to travel to meet our hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, float back down. And inhale, rise all the way to stand. Exhale, Tadasana, mountain pose. Now standing anywhere onto your mat. Feet about hip distance. And let's bend the knees, sit back into a chair. Draw your weight over to the right foot. Cross your left knee over, and you could tap the toes on the ground or maybe tuck them behind one more time. Now, widen the arms. Take a big inhale. We're going to give ourselves a hug. Right arm on top of left. You can hold on to opposite shoulders or find that full eagle bind. Now, wherever you are, squeeze the legs together as we sit a little lower, and let's try to lift the spine a little bit taller. One more breath, lots of focus here. And to come out, press through your standing leg, let everything untie. Find 2 feet and just let that feeling sort of dissipate in our legs. Heading over to the other side, bend the knees, sit way back, arms by the ears, and right away shift the weight into the left leg. Cross your right knee over top and decide if you want to keep the toes on the ground or just tuck the toes behind. Take a breath in, expand through the upper half. As you exhale, left arm on top of right for a hug. Stay right here or find full eagle bind. Everything squeezes together, sit a bit lower. Reach the fingers a little bit taller. Press into your standing leg. Everything unwinds until you find 2 feet. Let's take a big breath in. Reach the arms overhead. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the palms. We're stepping back, downward facing dog. Let's take a look forwards. We're going to step or hop through to a seat. So the heels can lift up. Bend the knees, either crossing the ankles as you step or hop all the way down. Now let's extend our right leg and bend the left knee. We're going to step that foot to the opposite side of our extended leg, then lean into your back hand, the left hand. Take a big breath in, stretching the arm by the ear. And as you breathe out, you might do a little tuck of the elbow or hug the thigh close to you. Stay active, every inhale growing a bit taller, and every exhale looking back behind. Let yourself unwind. Take one breath looking to the right and come on back through center. Now take your left leg, wiggle it further away from yourself until your knees get a little bit closer together. They might not go all the way, but close-ish. Now, optionally, you could take the extended leg and just wiggle it a little bit towards the left to bring the knees closer together. Keep the right ankle really active, so toes point up. Press the finger pads behind you into the mat, lengthen the spine up as well. And it might be fine for you to stay right here, feeling the stretch already, or slowly, slowly leaning the heart way ahead of those toes. Let's lift the spine back up, lean back into your hands, and we'll straighten out the left leg, but keep the ankles crossed. Let's bend both knees, hike them towards you. Keep leaning back into your left hand as we take the right hand and reaching for the bottom foot's big toe. Now lean into the hand behind you a little bit more so you can hover the legs. You might stay right here. You might extend through the heels a little bit more, bringing tension into the arm. Or maybe floating the back hand, looking back at it. Let's bring a bend back into the knees. Give yourself a little hug, rounding over your legs. Switching sides, left leg gets to lengthen out. Right knee bends, then place it to the opposite side. Lean back into the right hand this time. Take a breath in, stretch the left arm to the sky, and exhale, finding our twist. Inhale, grow taller. Exhale to rotate. Take a look off the other way, one breath, and come on back through center. Let's lean into the hands, lengthen out that top leg, but keep the ankles crossed, and then bring them both closer to you. So we're leaning back into the right hand as the left hand, that spare hand, reaches for the bottom foot's big toe. So think of yourself like a teeter-totter here. You have to lean back enough to float the legs, and then start lengthening the legs out any amount, providing a bit more tension between the arms and legs. Use that core nice and strong, and slowly perhaps you float the back hand. Bring a bend to your knees, give yourself a little hug. And let's prepare to head down to the back. So toes come all the way to the top of the mat, anchor them down, reach the arms ahead, and let's do this big C curve of the spine down, finding lots of flexion there, what we've been practicing. So really challenge yourself to take your time. So you come back down to the back body, one bone at a time. When you get there, walk your feet closer to you, so they're stacked under the knees. We'll come into one bridge to finish it all off. Anchor through the heels, roll the spine up bone by bone, and we'll hold this one this time, adding in a back bend. Roll the shoulders a little closer together, either pressing the hands down or clasping the palms and pressing them down. Try to lift the hips higher by squeezing the glutes and let the breath flow freely. Unravel the hands, make room for the hips to lower back down, and just drop the legs from side to side a couple of times. Preparing for stillness, reach the heels far away, toes can fall apart, palms up to the ceiling as the eyes begin to shut. Become that observer again, observing the body and how it's feeling in this moment. Observing the breath. Perhaps it's a little bit quicker than it was when we started. And then observing the mind. What's it holding on to? Now it's time to let all of that go. Thoughts drift away. Any pace of breath you may have been holding on to, come back to your natural rhythm.